with me.
Yep.
Just so you can learn it at the same time as I do it. Feel free to let me know what the strategy is that you're running at the moment.
So I'll know let's say what it is. Let's say.
You'll know what it is?
Oh no, so let's say for example the other day or yesterday I looked up one that specifically is meta programs, and I'd have a look on it, I'd skim through it all, and then I would be like, okay, need to I'd obviously need to read from the start to get understanding, I'd look for keywords, and then I'd read through it, kind of just skimming it, not really knowing what I'm looking for, and then when I kind of pick up keywords, I'll just copy and paste it into my Evernote book, which is a really good app, and then I'll just kind of reread it. And then when that happens, that kind of happens in automation. And then from knowing super learning skills, I know I need to pre-frame myself, knowing what my intention is to get out of the context so that my short-term memory doesn't get overloaded. So I know I need to do that. And then I need to figure out what specific things I can do that I can convert to a mnemonic symbol, and that's specific and unusual or bizarre to me in a specific way, and then I can track that information down into my notes, and then I know I need to go through spatial repetition depending on what it is, and then from that I also know that I need to connect that pre-existing knowledge and personalise it to anything that I know I need to do but I don't do.
Great, that's your education strategy. So, a strategy that has equilibrium will have 4 parts. Are you aware of the pain and pleasure model?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one will be a minor away from pain. You've got your first part of it will be the trigger point, which is where...
Maybe I know like go towards pain and away from pain, maybe not the pain and pleasure model.
That's okay, that's all you need to know for now. So this is the trigger point, so where you want the new strategy to engage, the minor away from pain, and then the major towards. Okay, the reason why it's a minor away is because that you don't want them to be traumatizing themselves. And then you want a major towards, so that obviously people are just going to be compelled to move on to the next set of strategy, and then this is the desired state. Okay, so the trigger for you is when you're trying to absorb information. Yeah. And then, what's your desired state?
It helps a little bit to know that, when I'm focused, that I can consciously bring all this up to the thing, but I just...
So recall?
Yeah, I guess my desired state would just be knowing that I spent 6 to 8 weeks doing this course, and I know all this stuff. It just never ever automatically happens until I'm sitting there learning all this stuff, and it's like, oh my god, what are you doing? You've picked up nothing. Why don't you use the skills that you spent 6 to 8 weeks on?
Yeah, so there's that critical thinking that you have. So keeping in mind your modelling project, okay? So when you do your modelling project, you'll need a trigger, a minor away, a major towards, and your desired state. You'll also want equilibrium, so you'll want V, A, K, I, D, and it doesn't have to be in that order, but you'll want one from each rep system. Because what we can see here, right, is that you're very heavily analytical, and you probably do your own heading.
Yeah.
Alright? And once in a blue moon, you'll check it with the way it looks, and sometimes with the way it feels, but generally, you have an analytical loop. And the amount of energy it takes you to loop, you could probably actually be recalling. So it's taking the energy that you've unconsciously put into looping in an ID loop and re-establishing it in a way that honours you. So what we need to do is figure out different states, and so it's very different from a resource anchor. Let's see what you see, hear what you hear, really feel the feelings. When we're doing visual, it'll be see what you see, see what you see, see what you see. And if you accidentally bring a different rep system in, it's contamination.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we need to do is find out which order this is gonna work for you. So, when you have the trigger point that I need to absorb information, do you think naturally that's visual, kinesthetic, audio, or ID? Visual. Okay, so we'll just go with that for now. And then your desired state of automation, automatically recalling and implementing
Yeah.
everything that you've learned.
Yeah.
Do you think that's audio, kinesthetic, or ID? Because we've already used up your visual.
It has to be ID.
It has to be ID. Okay. So, now, when you are receiving rewards, is it more likely that the reward
Feelings.
is kinesthetic for you? Great. And then you don't like hearing negative things?
Yeah.
Good. Really good self-awareness. Okay. So, what we do in this case...
That's 100%.
Yeah. So what we do in this case is that's your thumb and these are your knuckles. Okay? So we will see what you see what you see, and see what you see, hear what you hear, and make sure you're only hearing it. Just hear it. Okay? And then feel, and feel, and feel. And then when you're analytical, is it think for you? Think,
Yeah.
think. Good. Think about these processes.
I wonder what if think or analyse would sit better for me. Because think interprets to analyse, doesn't it?
I would suggest think because analyze is this thing. And we're trying to get rid of that thing because it's sucking the life out of you, okay?
Yeah.
We're gonna bring some more life to this now, okay? So if you were to feel something, a benefit, like a good way to feel, how would you feel if this new strategy works? Like,
In learning,
yeah,
achievement.
good. Feel that achievement. Is there anything else that you'll feel?
Fulfillment.
Yeah.
Because I'm meeting my needs. Because I know learning is a critical factor. That's why I've done the super learning courses. Is like, oh, if I could, because like I said, I will continuously push forward and I will absorb information, and sometimes it's just like, I've done it for the last 3 years, like reading books, and I do remember key points out of that book, but like I learn a lot of better strategies now that I just dive in and I'd have all these best thinking processes for 2-3 months, and then I'd forget about them all and be in another one, and I'd have all these cool thinking processes and a little bit of that, and then forget about next one, and if I knew that I could have taken more and like sucked in more with my neurology, I'd have a lot more still to offer, which is still there.
So you feel abundance, or
Yeah, no, like achievement and fulfillment. That's because that's what it would make me feel. Because now I'm understanding that I can pay a lot.
Is it an abundance of knowledge, like you've got so much to give? Is that how you feel? Is
Yeah,
that...
well, I know abundance of knowledge is going to give me success in my business. It's going to give me fulfillment in fulfilling my needs of wanting to be successful, and the achievement is a sense of achievement that I get from it.
Beautiful. So, what are the minor negative things that you would hear yourself that would motivate you to want to move towards this outcome?
If it was taking me away from my goals, I guess. So, minor, so negative
Things that you would
things
hear, specifically here.
in a negative aspect.
Because it needs to be a minor away from. So you're not going to be saying positive things because you want to be moving away from pain to motivate you here.
So it's negative to move me away from it.
What is something that someone would say to you, or like something I heard you say to yourself before was like why do you use it? Like you're really quite critical, like you're going backwards, or it could even be you better incorporate this, or you're going to be wasting all that energy that you've been.
Yeah.
putting into your education or...
Yeah, that would be a good one.
So in your words, what would you hear?
You better listen. Oh, you better listen to this, or you're not going to be successful.
Listen, or you're
You're going to be successful.
going...
To be successful, get this.
I'll use that one as a separate anchor.
So I can see how that kind of brings it in as a cue.
It makes you like...
Brings the focus back.
Yeah, snaps you out of some stuff. So, what is the visual trigger when you know it's time to learn and absorb information?
Like something that I look at, like Everton on my computer.
So you can see your computer,
Yeah.
and you know it's time to simplify the way you absorb information. And what else would you see? Is it like a classroom environment or something like that?
Yeah, classroom would be
Or
right.
seminar, or what word would you use?
Seminar, big seminar.
Seminar's a better word for you.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'm always reading books. So
Books, good. That's a good one. Alright. And then when you're over here thinking, and you're arriving at this automation recall implementation, what thought processes do you think you'd have?
what have you just learned?
Remembering you're automating and recalling. So think about what you've just learned.
Yeah. How does that apply to you? Or how can you apply it?
What can you apply?
Yeah. How does this apply to me? Or what can I apply? Or where could I use this? Depending on what context I'm writing in, if it was NLP, if it's personal development, if it was wealth, where can I use this in my life? How can I implement this somewhere?
Can I offer you something and you can refuse if this is going to be a part of your automation, so I really invite you to be straight with me. A lot of this is going to be like the thought process around being present and really like being with people like the seminar leaders, or being with the intention of the person that's written the book, or just being present is a process.
Okay.
Because I've noticed the big improvement in you in the last couple of weeks when you're just really present. You're here, you've been really present to the written information, you've been really present to the demonstrations, you've been really present to applying demonstrations to Anna. I've just noticed that being present as a process is going to be really...
I suppose if I know the information, being present with it makes more sense.
Good.
Rather than the process itself.
Good, because otherwise you're just going to be doing this kind of stuff.
Is that content and process?
So what I would say to you is, when you don't know what to do, you'll loop. But the answer is always out here. Whether it's in the book, whether it's on the computer, whether it's in the binder, whether it's with your client, it's never in here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's always out of your head. The answer's always outside of you.
Now that you say that, it kind of does that, like, and I've noticed in a few people, when you get chunked with massive information, all the information is in front of you, and I'm, what do I do, everything goes into, rather than say, start, we go at the bottom.
Yeah.
What do I do, I go here, there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the answer, rather than just saying, okay.
Being out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, being out here. Okay, great. So, because you're very internalized, that's what all this is. And the answer's almost always on their face or on the screen or in the book in front of you.
Well, I even noticed that now, like, and when I first came into the start, right, all my awareness was out here, and then when we brought up all the stuff about you're not good enough, it was about 10 minutes ago, and I was still focusing because I know my intention was to focus, but I know that I was half analysing what had just gone on
Yeah.
rather than.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll get that in as you close your eyes. And I want you to see your computer, see that seminar environment, see that book, and I want you to hear, listen, or you're not going to be able to succeed, you're not going to be able to get this, listen. And then the feeling that I want you to feel is fulfillment, abundance of knowledge, fulfillment, and then the idea or the process that we want to enable in you is being out here with people, and then what can I apply, thinking about what can I do, and thinking about the process of how to be present. Does that open your eyes for me? Does that flow through well for you, or is there something that you'd like to change?
Just change all the questions, just say present and then just say, say present and then just say questions, don't say the questions, because I know that the questions already in me is just needing the questions.
I'm loving this simplification that you're doing. Okay, anything else you need to change?
Nothing, I just feel, I don't know like if that's meant to be like that, but I feel like sometimes for me I like it to, whenever I'm doing this, it needs to be slower, just so I get time to, my brain to focus in on it.
Okay, of course. So let me do this again. And what else did you want to
And
hear?
just questions.
Ask questions?
Oh, yeah, ask questions. What question? Yeah, ask questions. Because I've done enough to know enough that the quality of the life depends on the questions you ask yourself, so they'll come. I know, like I've drilled them in through repetition, and it's just being present, and they'll come.
Good. This is your idea. Alright, so just close your eyes. And I just want you to see that computer. See that seminar environment. See those books. And then I just want you to hear you're going to be successful. You're not going to be successful if you don't listen. You're not going to get this if you don't listen. And then I want you to feel achievement as your motivator. Feel fulfillment that you have listened. Feel abundance of knowledge. And then I want you to think about being present. And I want you to think about asking questions. Does that roll through a bit nicer?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Alright, cool. So let's implement that, shall we?